if you notice in my Instagram, I upload this newspaper. So this is actually, this article was written by my colleague, Dr. Fatima and I, in which we, the program leader in one of the program by Higher Education Ministry. So if you read this article, you will notice that now we in UMS is collaborating with ECAP to handle one workshop for all selective lecturers from 20 public universities in Malaysia to do some workshop on how actually a university can transfer knowledge to the community. So in doing this article, I have applied the 3 steps, PWC. PWC, this is what you are going to learn this week under topic 6, effective written communication. And if you notice in my Instagram, I write a lot in newspaper. I write a lot in newspaper. So far, in average, I write 6 articles per year. 6 articles per year. That is my benchmark. Sometimes I manage to write until 10 articles, and out of that 6 to 10 articles, sometimes I manage to write in national newspaper. So all this while, since in UMS since 2006, I had been written almost 60 to 70 articles in newspapers. That is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing the writing in newspaper, articles, news, and what actually assists me, what actually enable me to do that writing is because I apply PWC. P for planning, W write, C complete. I'm going to share with you that tips, today. So the contents of sharing for today, there are 6 objectives. 6 objectives. The first objective is how actually we plan a writing. We call it pre-write. Look at number 1. And then after we have pre-write, basically this is the drafting phase. Then we write. We write doesn't mean that we are ready to send what we write to receiver or newspaper and so on. No, actually we write. This is where we write our first draft. Okay, remember the difference between number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is pre-write. Pre-write is actually not really a draft, a written draft. It is still in our thinking, in our mind. It's still, we might write the ideas somewhere else. Maybe we write the ideas in a paper. I mean, piece of paper. Maybe we write the idea on the tree, di pokok kan, and then maybe we write the idea on the wall. For example, that is the planning part, the pre-write. But when we go to writing, second, compose, we actually do the drafting. And if we are, we are sure what we wrote is okay, then it's already completed. We don't have any more ideas. Then we go to the third step to complete the writing, and only after the third step we send to the receivers. Okay, I send to the newspaper and so on. And then in this session also, I'm going to share with you the type of messages and electronic messages and digital media, and last one is the proposal and report. Okay. Yeah, I hear some voice. No problem. Okay. So, what is written communication? All this while from first week number 1, until last week, we most of our sharing is concentrating on verbal and non-verbal communication. But today, our focus is on written communication. Written communication is actually the writing part lah. We write, people understand. If we cannot read or we are not good at Chinese language, for example, Chinese language, Mandarin, for example, and when our friend from China writing to us in Mandarin, of course, I cannot understand what she or he is writing. Reason because the language is different. So basically, the ideas of written communication, when we write anything to anybody else, we only can share the meaning if we understand both languages. And these languages actually is represented by a character or symbol. Yeah, and so and the meaning of certain words is different. Only we share message in written communication if we understand the characters, the symbol, the meaning, and so on. So this is the basic rule of written communication. In writing, okay, in writing, if you happen to read my article, that I upload anyway, especially in Instagram, you will find these 7 C's in my article. These 7 C's are, the first one is clarity. Clarity means clear, easy to understand. Yeah, I did not use lengthy words. I did not use new perkataan or new words. I did not write lengthy sentences. Okay, my way of writing, if you read my articles in newspaper and so on, it's very not too many words in sentence. That is my style. So this is what we call clarity. Conciseness is straight to the point. Yeah, I prefer to use sentences straight to the point. Concreteness has integrity. For example, has facts and figures, action, verb, vivid image, and building words, and so on. This is concreteness. Last time, if you remember, I talked about integrity. So in fact, in the writing, we also have this integrity of what we call concreteness, because it has facts and figures. Correctness, of course, correct, true. You are not reporting untrue story. You only reporting the true story. Otherwise, it is a story. Courtesy means in our norms. Usually we write dear Ahmad, dear Ah Chong, dear, and so on. So this dear is what we call courtesy. Tuan, and so on, sir, doctor, professor. This is a courtesy approach. So basically, when we write written communication, we need to be careful to whom do we send the writing. We must give respect to the position of that particular person. And then consideration, this consideration is more or less about, for example, how long should we write to somebody? In order to define how long we should write something, we need to know the context lah. What is the context? Yeah, so this one no need to be too much thinking of it. Yeah, completeness, of course, when we write, make sure we write a complete sentence, a complete ideas of what we actually want to say to the other person. Yeah. Okay, so this is about how the basic rules of effective communication. When we write, we actually sending messages. Yeah? And if I write to Sir Ujin about something, so of course the ideas of that writing, because I want to inform or to persuade or to whatever seuji lah. So in the written communication, basically it has messages, and there are in general there are 4 messages, type of messages. Purposeful, actually we write because we want to know something, we want to have something, we want to get something. Persuasive, we write because we want to know more, we want people to accept what we are trying to say, and so on. Economical, when we write, we don't want people to spend too much time, so we write less. But not less doesn't mean we write incomplete sentence. Economical means short and concise. Audience-oriented, when we write to people, we must put in our mind that we need to respect that particular person, because they don't have anything to do, and we suddenly send a message, then they have something to do. So because we bother their time, their free time, our letter or our writing must audience-oriented. Yeah, when they read, they must feel like it is worth reading. So basically, this is what we call empathic approach. Yeah. Okay, so 3-step writing process, PWC. Basically, it's about what I mentioned earlier lah. When we want to write, we must make sure we plan first. What do we want to write? Until we plan first what we want to write, then we write. We write. The first draft is not necessarily the message that we are going to send. Maybe we write, and finally we have the final writing. Then we go for proofreading and so on, and then send. So this proofreading we send is in the completion part. Okay, read the composed message critically and revise it before delivering to the message. Basically, in the test, I might ask you a question like, in which phase actually people do critical revision? Okay, so the answer is in the completing part. Okay, remember this is the tips lah. So when we write in the write, this is once we already have the ideas of what message that we are going to send, we need to draft the paragraph. We need to draft the first or the second, the third on, and the final draft before we send to the receivers. So in this slide, these are the cycles of how actually you can do the writing part, in which the basic idea is, okay, remember during the first phase, the first part, you plan what to write. This is based on your ideas. But in the second part, actually we want to support the ideas. So this is the phase where we do the research whether the idea that we want to write is really a good ideas. Is really ideas that should be shared with others. So this is what we call the element of research. Then we organize, how do we want to write it, and then we compose. So basically this is the cycles of doing the writing. And the third one is completing. This is where after we have our final writing and we want to send, we need to revise first. Revise. How many times do we need to revise? I ask you all, how many times? So basically I don't have answers for that. Okay, but the best thing to revise is to let other people to read your write-up. Okay, if you alone revise, maybe you could decrease the mistake. But if you have other people to do the revision, two things will happen. Number one, they will spot your mistake. Number two, they will add ideas to your original ideas. So that is the good thing when we ask people to read our article. This is what I did. This is what I did. When I send my articles to newspaper, almost 60 to 70 articles already, with average of 6 to 10 articles per year. I sent to my colleague, my colleague to read through. The reason, number one, is to minimize the error, typo. Secondly, so that maybe, who knows, they have ideas that will enhance the value of my ideas. Okay, so that is why my writing is interesting. If you not believe me, you read my cerpen. Yeah? I don't know whether you all have read my cerpen, kah? You know what is cerpen? Short story, cerita pendek. My last cerpen is Supir Cinta. Oh, that is very interesting cerpen, Supir Cinta. Kalau belum baca, boleh minta dengan Ujen. Ujen sudah banyak baca itu Supir Cinta. Sampai dia menitiskan air mata berbisin-bisin. Okay, so the ideas of writing is that you need to follow the PwC. Yeah? So the rest you can read. Okay, this is the proofreading lah. Most of the time, student lah, I said student, they don't pay attention in proofreading. Proofreading is actually good for any writer lah, because through proofreading, it enhance your value when you do proofreading, because when you send write up to other people on newspaper, if you maintain less typo, then you will be respected as a good writer. So some of the reason why people do proofreading, because of the grammar, spelling typo, punctuation, forgot and put commas, semicolon, how the procedure, and names and numbers. Names, sometimes people type your name wrongly. For example, last night I went to One Borneo and I do my spectacular glass. Last time my reading is 125. Last night when I checked my reading, 250. That means I'm getting all already. Okay, I'm getting all already. And then when I write my name on the receipt, I use my beautiful handwriting style. So I wrote the Jakaria, and then the 1B call me, not call lah, they WhatsApp me. Excuse me, sir, your name is Jakaria or Jaharia? You see. So then I reply, oh, my name is Jakaria. So basically, this thing happened. For example, if I went to last time when I went to Peninsula for my degree, my colleagues there and the professor, the lecturers, they wrote my name Zakaria. However, my parents spell my name Jakara. So this is part of example lah, why it is very important to do proofreading. Standard format, of course, format. We have format. If we want to apply for a job, there is a format. If we want to mention that we cannot attend any particular event, there is a format, and so on. So, okay, laju lah. So now the fourth objective. By the way, are you still there? My student, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think all of you are going to fall asleep, kan? Because my lecture always boring, kan? Okay, type of messages. type of messages refers to how actually message is written. Yeah, basically there are 4 types of messages: positive message, negative message, neutral message, persuasive message. Positive message, for example, if your friend get married, then you send a message to your friend saying, I hate you. Betul kata? If you itu kalau you all ada hal lah kan, but if your friend is married, you said congratulations Gracie for your marriage, and for example, so this is positive appreciation. Negative, for example, negative, okay, I actually supposed to go to Ranau today. I supposed to go to Ranau today, but because 2 days ago in Sabah, it was announced that today we cannot go across districts, rentas daerah. But then suddenly last night, the ruling is changed. You see, it was changed. The new ruling said that this is the state government lah. We still can do rentas daerah, border district, crossing district today, because it will only implemented tomorrow. However, I already cancelled my appointment with people community in Ranau because of the first announcement. So I was very disappointed. But I cannot write to the government. Actually, when I cannot go to see the community, so I text them. I text to the community, I'm so sorry, sir, because of the new ruling, we have to cancel our appointment today. So I am so sorry that I believe once this PKP is over, I will be able to go to Ranau and see you all there. This is what we do, the negative, yeah, or negative message. We convey disappointment, cancel. Neutral, for example, as like you read my article just now. You read just for your pleasure reading. So that is informative, neutral. And maybe you mana tu ubat mana tu ubat ini ubat, ini this is the medicine lah. I did not eat this medicine. I wonder who is eating this medicine. I don't know, but it is on my table. So in this medicine, yeah, there is some messages there. So this is actually what we call neutral messages. We read ubat darah tinggi, darah dia terlampau tinggi, kena makan how much and much, yeah, for example. And then persuasive. If you the good example is insurance agents. Insurance agent want you to take insurance for them, and they write a very beautiful, very persuasive letter asking you to buy the insurance. They said, if you want to live longer, you must buy the insurance. Like that, to that extent. Yeah? If you don't want to die tomorrow, you must buy insurance, for example. Itu main-main. So, proposal. Actually, proposal that you write is a persuasive, yeah? Proposal, because you want to, get permission from the CSR party that you want to do the CSR project, for them to allow you to do the CSR project. So basically, when you send proposal to them, a letter to them, it is actually persuading them to allow you to do the proposal. Also, you ask from Seujin and I lah, to approve your project. So that is the reason for writing the proposal. Okay, now we go to, okay, ini sudahlah. Basically, this is further explanation of positive. Positive, sometimes it has 2 characters: to inform, to motivate. negative. Okay, later you can refer to the slide. Yeah. Indirectly, I mentioned about this example. Okay, persuasive. This one is good. To influence, to motivate, to convince, to recommend. Do you spot any mistake? Recommend. Sepatutnya ada satu C. Supposed to be to has one C, but recommend. Okay, 6 tactics to make your message more persuasive. This is if you want to further understand how persuasive message is written. So this is the ingredient. Okay, this is the ingredient. You can read this by yourself. I want to persuade you to read this by yourself. Okay, effective written communication. Now we go to the part 2. I think this is learning objective number 5. How actually we write using electronic message and digital media. I would like to focus on email. Yeah, I would like to focus on email. Here is email. Okay, why people use email? Why people use text? I mean messages. Why people use WhatsApp? Why people use Telegram? There are various reasons, different reasons, and for every every channel, actually there are reasons why people choose that, and each one has its advantages and has its disadvantages. But this is the normal, this is the norms of IT technology. IT technology in which you need to learn, you need to relearn, you need to relearn about the latest development of technology. If you did not learn, if you did not relearn, if you did not relearn, you are going to be left behind. This is the what we say. This is the norm of technology. Yeah? So, okay, what is important when we choose the right media, digital media, we must suit it with our purpose, with our need. For example, if you want to send invitation for your wedding, balik-balik wedding, habis semua tinggal di rumah kan, surfing online, lama-lama kamu sudah tua semua kan, sudah mau kawin. For example, so this digital media is actually has its uniqueness. And of course lah, when we talk about technology, it save time, it save cost, it save everything. But be careful in using media ya. My handphone pun sudah bunyi, banyak teks masuk. See. Then how to create effective email. I would like you all to read this, to read this through. This is important part. Email used for the right purpose. Don't viral anything. Actually, when we are in organization, lawak pula ni music. When we are in organization and when we use email, email is actually already replacing official letter. Remember ya, nowadays email already, bukan already sudah ya, emails already replace formal letter. So don't simply use email like you are texting freely. Be careful. If you belong to any organization and you email messages to anybody, make sure that you email complete text with integrity and have empathy approach to receivers, because when we email is already considered as formal letter, especially when your address or your email is using your organization email. For example, my email jakaria@ums.edu.my. Jakaria is my name, but @ums is belong to organization. So if I email people using that email, actually I'm representing the organization. So be careful. Use only for the right purpose. ensure ease of reading. When we mention ease of reading means we don't want to write too long. We want to say we have to cancel the meeting, but you write due to the COVID-19 and so many people were dead and blah 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 and blah blah, and then actually you want to say we have to cancel the event. So that is what we say ease of reading. Yeah, try to get rid of sentences that actually you write in article, and the rest, okay, you can understand it. Please read this slide. I think many questions from this slide. Okay, manage emotion, emotion, conflict, escalation, confusion, anxiety. So basically, when people has confronted other people, they are in conflict. So how to mediate the conflict? We have to understand the neutrality effect and the negativity effect. You go and ask your uncle, ask your uncle, uncle, what is neutrality effect? What is negativity effect? You know, your uncle is Google. And then anger and frustration, flames. What does flame? Flames mean sudahlah sejuk, dikasih panas lagi, flaming, and so on. So you find out about flamings, about cyber silence. Do your own reading on this, ask your uncle. Your uncle is not other people than Uncle Google. Now to the last objective. How do we apply PwC in writing proposal? So there are 7 steps. Remember, PwC only three pages, but actually these 3 pages can be further extended to 7 steps when we write proposal, okay, or report. Step 1, define. So basically, this is the normal approach of writing academic proposal. Don't confuse between academic proposal and your proposal, for example. But your proposal, your CSR proposal, still can be flexed out. And that proposal format. So basically, this is merely a guideline for your proposal report. I don't expect you all to write too serious in your proposal report. So Ujin will elaborate further on the contents of proposal. Basic things only, basic things. The idea is you want to do the CSR project and you need permission to do that. In order to get the permission, what actually you are going to do, and all that must convince the receiver. See, that is proposal, to persuade. So this, okay, this is the one that you can apply. Okay, this slide. So you refer to this slide. Why this? Okay, this is actually the outline of proposal writing for your CSR. You all can refer this. If you have more than what written in this, you can use it, because I believe you are getting that source from other examples, so no worry. So this is just a guideline, panduan. In cover letter. Okay, what actually the reason we use cover letter? That is my first question. Secondly, how long or how many paragraph should be in cover letter? Okay, so the first question, why do we have to write cover letter? Because in Malay we call it surat iringan. Because cover letter actually explaining why we send the document. For example, when we apply for a job, we send our resume or CV. But that resume, that CV, do not have introduction. the introduction part is actually written in the cover letter. Okay, that is question number 1. Answer for number 1. Question number 2. How long or how many paragraphs should be in cover letter? The answer is 3. 3 paragraphs, not more than 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph tell the receiver where do you get the information. Okay, remember the first paragraph for cover letter is to tell the reader, the receiver, where do you get the information that leading to you sending the letter to or document to the receiver. Paragraph number 2, you tell the receiver who are you actually and why it is important for them to know you. If you send resume, the second paragraph should include what is your qualification and what is unique about yourself. So that is second paragraph. The final paragraph is about you expect the receiver to reply. Yeah? You expect the receiver to reply. For example, simple sentence. Yeah. Thank you for the time given reading my letter. I hope I can hear your feedback soon. That's a very simple one. So basically we have 3 paragraphs in cover letters. The first paragraph is that where you get the information leading to sending the letter to the receiver. Second, why it is you, who are you, for them to learn about your letter or your intention or your ideas. And the last one is actually you are asking for a feedback, a response. So basically, that's all I want to share with you all this week. Yeah. Wah, cantik pula ini anu kan. This is the scene where I first we first launched our program Logot. Yeah. The first actually this Logot, I'm the one who initiated it. I'm the one who choreographed this program. Yeah. We are going to have more program of Logot in the future, and the next program I'm going to be the moderator. So when I become the moderator, please spread the news. Yeah, please spread the news because I'm going to be on air and I will be interacting with one of the guests in this Logot. Yeah. So I think that's all from me. Anybody want to ask question, please?